Hey there, it's Russ Littau again, founder of the Healing Center and Convergence Reiki. I'm just at one of my favorite meditation spots when I'm in our home offices in Western Canada. And actually, I'm just going to swing you around so you can take a look at it. So hold on, it could get dizzy. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I can't see, so I'm trusting now. And this is a little creek that is close actually to our offices. Okay, you're back. So did you get dizzy? and I was thinking today about fault. And actually, the title for this video is "It's All Your Fault," and that's the good news. And so here's what I mean by that. Have you ever noticed in our society, at least I've noticed, that when something screws up, whatever that looks like, the first thing we do is we look for, we look for somebody to blame. Whose fault was it, right? Who did this, right? Why did it happen? And I find we spend a lot of time on that. Boy, I tell you, we really, really focus on who screwed up, whose fault is it, who's to blame, and I find that does a really effective job of, for the most part, really paralyzing us in our own personal growth. Because you see, for me, in order to do that, we have to look in one direction, and that's backwards, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't know who to blame, right? You have to look in the past, otherwise you wouldn't know who to blame or whose fault it was and things like that. And I'm not saying for 1 second that we're not responsible for our actions and the consequences of our actions, but as far as how that, that person, place, thing, or event that we call traumatic, or something we define as a failure, or whatever it is, the role that plays in us moving forward, as far as that aspect of it, to me, that's a real important one. When we're looking for that fault or the blame, we're very effectively looking backwards. And I don't know about you, but I want to go forwards, right? And I find so often, as it relates to our own personal growth, is that the villain ends up being us, and we look around and we look in the past, and we've screwed up, whatever that looks like, or something has happened that we've decided is a failure, and really there isn't any such thing as failures anyway. It's simply a failure is simply an outcome that is different than the one you expected, anticipated, or wanted. And so we look and we go, okay, I'm to blame. Or that the kissing cousin to that is, it's my fault. And, and it does a really effective job, as I said, is really, I find, stopping us because we're looking in the wrong direction, right? And then the other piece of that is, maybe it's not me, but maybe it's something external to me. Maybe it's the, economy, maybe it's the people I work with, maybe it's my family, maybe it's my upbringing. All these external factors, all these external, villains and heroes, however you want to label them, and then you're really screwed, right? Because here's the thing. If they, like I said, the person, place, thing, or event, if that or they are the ones that are responsible for this place you find yourself in, then the only way it can change is if they do something. If you think about it, I was listening to Wayne Dyer, one of his talks, and he talked about, and it sounds like I'm picking on mothers here, but he was counseling somebody, and this person basically, the reason that he was in the predicament that he was in was because of his mother, right? And so, and I think Wayne was using this as an example, and he says, so, I wrote a prescription out, and I said, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take this prescription and go take it to your mother. And the guy's kind of looking at him like, oh, well, what are you talking about? And he says, well, if your mother is the reason for all this, I'm going to write the prescription, and you give it to her, that'll fix her, which will solve your problem. It's kind of a funny story, but it's true when you think about it, when we frame it that way. Okay? And so, for me, the way I look at it is, and it may seem like a subtle shift or change, but I found it's a really powerful one, is rather than fault or blame or guilt, that kind of is all fit in with there as well. The way I look at it is, I am responsible for where I'm at right now. right? And however I got here is however I got here. But I am responsible right now for the things I want to think about, what I want to do with those memories, because that's what they are, right? And then the actions I'm going to take from this moment. And when you think about it, the actions I take, the thoughts that I think from this moment forward, right? So now I'm facing the exact opposite direction, right? Now I'm facing forward. I'm saying, okay, I'm responsible for whatever got me here, nobody else, right? Again, I'm not saying it removes consequences for other people's actions and things like that. But as far as my personal growth and what I do from here on, I'm responsible for how I want to think about those memories. And then, as I said, the thoughts that I have and the behaviors that I choose from this point forward, which very effectively points me forward. It points me in the right direction. And and the reason I kind of titled this video is "It's All Your Fault," and that's the good news. Is if I am responsible for my present experience, whatever that looks like, however it got here, then that means I'm the one that can change it. See, that's the good news. If it was that person, place, thing, or event external to us, you're kind of screwed, right? Unless they change, you're stuck. But if I'm the one that's responsible for it, that means I can change it. I can create something new. I am now back in charge, if you will, or empowered, rather than the exact opposite. Okay? And I think that's it. It's just kind of a short little video, but it may seem subtle, but I find is a huge difference in the way we perceive, and therefore the way we think and behave, and it puts us in the right direction. We're now going forward, not backward. So where you are at is not your fault. You're not to blame, but it is your responsibility. And in that, you are now empowered that you get to choose the thoughts you will think, the behaviors you will take to create a new, a greater version of you moving forward. Excellent. Thanks. Well, yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm going to carry on meditating here. So you have a good day, and we'll talk to you later.